Hello and welcome to my impressions of Doom Eternal, which is a bit strange because usually what I do with these impressions videos is I play a little bit of the game and then I give you my initial thoughts on the game, and then if I like it enough I'll do, or if I've got something to say at the end of the game, I'll do something on it then to just give you my final thoughts. But Doom Eternal is a special kind of game because I've completed it. This is an impression video of the whole game pretty much, because I was like, first two levels in, I was like, I need to make a video on it now, you know. Got a good first impression from it and I was like, yeah, I need to make the video. But then I just kept going and I kept going and I kept going, and before you knew it I was near the end and I was like, I might as well complete it before I make the video. Doom Eternal, I went into this blind. If you've watched my video game index, obviously you know Doom 2016 is on there, rightfully so. One of my favourite games of all time, one of my favourite shooters, arguably one of the best first person shooters to ever grace the consoles, PC, whatever you want to call it, the video game universe, what we'll call it. And I went into this blind. I knew I was going to get the game. I knew if they just stuck to what they'd done in Doom 2016 I would absolutely love the game. But they didn't stick to Doom 2016. They enhanced it, in my opinion, in pretty much every single way. It is a huge upgrade from Doom 2016. Like, they could have just made the same game, different levels, different weapons, added a few new enemies here and there, and I would have loved it. Would have been as good, but they have completely reinvented some aspects of the combat, some aspects of the level design, the story. There's a story that I actually cared about in this as well. I'm just going to ramble on because it was so good. Let's focus on the combat, because that is probably the biggest change from the combat. Now in Doom 2016 I'm going to do a lot of comparisons to that, but it's rightfully so. The combat in Doom 2016 was fast paced, action packed, dynamic, a lot of moving about, a lot of things you need to consider. That was until I played this game. The mental gymnastics that you need to do in this game, whether you're shooting, getting ammo, getting armor, getting health, worried about the enemy types, looking at the level designs of the combat zones, everything is just enhanced so much. The dash is the most brilliant thing in this game. Doom 2016, perfect as far as I'm concerned. The movement was excellent, fluid. They've added a dash. The dash just completely enhances, upgrades the combat. You just feel so in control of Doom Guy, and the dash is one of those beautiful, simple mechanics that just completely changes the way the game plays. Basically, what you can do is you can jump. You do a double jump in the first Doom 2016. I can't remember, but you got a double jump, and then you get the dash, which allows you to kind of dash on the ground or in the air twice in quick succession. It allows you to, get out of harm's way or make a ledge that you're not quite sure you're going to get to. It's just an amazing feature. It is so simple. Like, why? When I was thinking about this, like, if Doom 2016 had that, it's so simple. It's just such a simple addition, but it's completely made the combat far more enjoyable. The combat is also a lot more intense, I felt. Like, in Doom 2016, the combat was good, it was fast paced, it was dynamic, it was intense, but this is like just upped it completely. You feel like you're under threat in Doom Eternal. Like, some of the areas, especially as you get later on in the game, are very challenging. You really need to think about your movement, think about your weapons, get ammo, get armor at the right times, go in for glory kills at the right time. It's just, I was like, when I was in a combat encounter, all focus was on it. I was absolutely dialed in to what was going on on the screen. Some of the new enemy types really add to that. I don't know what it's called, the snake-like thing. My favourite new enemy, because they're annoying, but also they're just so satisfying to kill. When you get the glory kill on them, oh, it has to be the best glory kill in the game, where you just slice them up and down, up from top to from bottom to top. What else have we got? We've got some old enemies coming back. The ones that spawn, the little flaming skulls. I wish I knew my Doom enemies more. You've got, I know this one, the Marauder. Oh, one of the toughest enemies I think I've ever faced. He is just brutal with his defense, his offense. He is so aggressive. You barely get any time at all to react to some of the things he does. If you shoot him, he's just going to block it with his shield. He's just going to put it right back at you. You really need to use your arsenal to try and defeat the Marauder. And the first encounter with him is amazing. Some of the boss battles in this, or some of the boss battles toward the end, I wasn't really too keen on, but the earlier ones are very, very good. What else? Talked a lot about the combat, the weapons. I mean, the weapons are pretty much still the same. They've had a few cosmetic designs. A few notable changes is the super shotgun, which was probably my favourite weapon in Doom 2016. It's got a grappling hook on it, but instead of pulling the enemies towards you, you go towards the enemies and just blast them with the super shotgun. It is such a satisfying. The whole arsenal is just such a satisfying arsenal. Every and you're forced to use every weapon because your ammo is a lot smaller. The ammo that you can carry is a lot smaller, and in previous Dooms, and in previous Dooms, I'm playing a lot of them at the minute. So that forces you to kind of change on the fly. Use your special weapons for the bigger enemies, and then obviously use the smaller ones to mop up the kind of leftover. The super shotgun, oh, unbelievable! Cannot state how satisfying this is to grapple onto an enemy while in mid-air, pull yourself towards them, and then blast them in the face. Incredible. The level design has changed a bit. It has a bit more platforming in it because of the dash. It allows them to kind of add some platforming elements, which at first I was even like, this is kind of a bit tedious. But then once you get into the kind of later stages where it really becomes a challenge, it's a good way, in my opinion. It was a nice way to break up the combat, because the combat is so intense, because it demands so much concentration. A nice little platforming section, yeah, breaks up the enemy, the game nicely. I think I've heard a few who aren't such big fans of that, but I enjoyed it. I appreciated it. The secrets, all that, they're still there. They're still so fun to collect. The little toys of the enemies, the music soundtracks, the posters. You can get stuff for your Fortress of Doom, which is kind of like a little hub area where you can unlock special things in that area, which is cool. I liked exploring it, like finding all the nooks and crannies of it. And then the story, which, again, if they just hadn't done a story, if you literally just said, go, you need to defend Earth, fine, fair enough, that's what I need to do. But there was cutscenes in it, which was strange, a little bit jarring at first, but it got me really invested in the Doom lore. Like, what is the actual story with Doom Guy? Where does he come from? What is his connection to all of this? Those are some things that are kind of explored in this Doom, and it got me kind of intrigued to see where the story's going. I guarantee there's going to be a sequel to this because it's such a good game. But they've done it. They've not left a cliffhanger at the end, which is like the worst, in my opinion, one of the worst things you can do, to just assume you're going to get a sequel. But they do some nice things with introducing characters that you don't necessarily see for a long time, or you might come across something that you're like, this is a bit strange. Why am I fighting this thing, or why am I interacting with this thing? And then you put two and two together, and you might, maybe there will be another game, which I liked. So it's going to be on the index. I'll say that right now. It's going to be on the index, and as you can tell, it's probably going to be above Doom 2016. I just feel like this game, they took it to another level. Like, as I said, they could have just done the same thing, added a few things, but they completely took Doom 2016 and I believe just enhanced, upgraded a lot of the aspects of the game, and it is a phenomenal experience. I like Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. I like Halo. And for me, they're up there, you know, Call of Duty 4. I believe this is up there in terms of first-person shooter campaigns, first-person shooters in general. Like, the shooting is so satisfying, the combat encounters are such a rush of adrenaline. It's an amazing game. If you haven't played Doom 2016, play that, and then play this. And yeah, I'm trying to think of more things to say. I feel like I've went over a lot. The combat is amazing. The locations that you go to in the story are phenomenal. I love some of the level design. Has one of the best first levels I think I've ever played. Just gets you into the action. No messing about. And yeah, it just goes up and up from there. Loved Doom Eternal. I've completed it, but I'm going through the campaign again just because I loved it that much, to be honest, and it's such an easy game to just pick up and play. The poles, I forgot about the poles that you can swing from. Like, again, they just add so much to just that little change, but when you're in combat, when you're doing the platform, it just adds a little bit more. So I think that's all I've got to say. Buy Doom Eternal. Hands down, one of the best games of the year so far. Certainly my game of the year this moment. I'm sure way to say that. One of the best games that I played this year so far. So, I kind of run out of breath now after that. It was quite intense. It's good to get these feelings out when you've got such good things to say about the game, because Doom Eternal deserves it. Deserves every single bit of praise that it's getting. Incredible, fantastic, phenomenal. I'm running out of words to describe it. If you like my video, if you want to see me cover more of games in general, just subscribe, ring the bell, and any thoughts, comments, general hostile remarks, leave them below. Thank you very much.